someone says this place is a hidden gem, and it's not a hidden gem anymore because everybody goes and starts, crowding in that place. So
the resting culture is kind of stopped. Everybody is on the move. It's on the weekdays you are on the move with your career, and when weekends come, you have to socialize. You have to be everywhere. People have called you here. Go attend to this, that, and then.
So the highest percentage of the reason for a personal loan is actually travel. So 24% people in the world have taken a personal loan just to travel, because
Welcome to another episode of Squaretable Conversations, where we talk about topics that matter. Today we are going to talk about the impact of over-tourism.
So I think today the perspective on tourism as a whole has changed a lot, and it's become more of a luxury thing, and with increased disposable income of for many people, travel has become like one of the most popular and sought after things. And most people even have a plan that okay, I go to like 2 trips a year or 3 trips a year, and maybe 1 domestic and 1 international, and that's become like a norm these days. And with more number of people wanting to travel, more number of people wanting to explore and going to places, it is leading to like a drain on the environment, because there's this one popular place and everybody like rushes to that place, like and maybe that place is not built to even handle such a big crowd, but everybody wants to go see that. And these days we see so many influencers, so many of our actors, celebrities going and visiting and popularizing one particular place, and then the crowd follows. And that initially maybe that is fine. Initially when a place is becoming popular, that is fine. But over a point of time, when so many people keep on visiting that same place, it leads to a drain on the resources in that place. And the infrastructure, monuments and things. So many times we see beautiful like historic monuments, but people would have scribbled something on that. So today, and one of the other most popular thing is someone says this place is a hidden gem, and it's not a hidden gem anymore because everybody goes and starts, crowding in that place. And even the other thing that you can see is in Google Photos, you see such beautiful pictures of that. Maybe if it's a waterfall or a meadow or whatever it is, but that place you go, the only thing you can see is heads, because everybody else has come to that same place like you. So the concept of unexplored places itself is not there anymore, and it's only over tourism because everybody is going and crowding in that one place. And also the other thing is the local people. Sometimes you see that they're not very welcoming towards tourists because they're not really happy with the kind of treatment that they're getting, like be it the local culture or the local food or something like that. Like the majority tourists don't really appreciate all of those things. There is of course a small percentage of people who maybe they've just gone there to experience these things, but a lot of times tourists, they want the same food that they eat in their home, they want the same food here, and the same kind of luxury and amenities they have back at home, they want the same thing in the tourist place also. So not much is really changing. They're just in a different environment from their homes, but they want the same kind of food, they want the same kind of facilities, they want everything from their home to be here. And maybe that place can't really accommodate all these things, but they want the same facilities here, because initially when it's just small crowds going and visiting, they're going to be happy and welcoming. But when the same thing keeps repeating over years and it keeps getting drained, that is when they're like, everyone's pretty exhausted with that. So yeah.
I think because, like she said, because of social media, places are getting popular, and there is, before, tourism was like a luxury, I would say. Now it's like you get some free time. People are like, let's go to this place, let's explore here or there. That is what is happening these days, and that is in a way good, because travel and tourism leads to so much economic growth of that place, and
Generation of employment.
yeah, it generates employment for a lot of people. But also another thing is, what do you say, the infrastructure also these days, it's developed to such a level that it accommodates travel. For example, going to, because of these expressways and everything, it's easier to travel these days. So that is one thing that is happening. And even I think these days this spiritual travel, going to these pilgrimages, they're finding out all these hidden temples and places of worship, and people are going there. So in a way, it's actually boosting people's, yeah, and they're becoming aware of, okay, these temples, you have to protect it, and that growth is happening. And obviously, I feel tourism, you have that, it's a way, there's this saying that in Kannada, there's a saying, Koshavadi Nodu, Desha Suddhi Nodu. So when you go to a place, you learn a lot of things. Your horizon expands. The people there will learn so much about the place you are from. So all of that happens, but it does have a negative impact, because these days the amount of tourists is increasing. Because I mean, this holiday season comes, Diwali, Dasara, Christmas, you get a long weekend, everyone is on the road. There's just traffic everywhere, and these tourist places become very, like, it gets overcrowded, and people there might be misusing it. Like, they charge very high prices for a room, which is not even reasonable. And the place cannot hold so many tourists. The infrastructure is not such a way. Maybe, for example, a temple, it's not used to handling so much queue. That leads to stampede and everything. So those sort of situations. And even Prayagraj, for that matter, Kumbh Mela has been happening so many times, but I felt this time the amount of people who went there were so many, and
Because that was a once in a lifetime thing, no? This time. So, and
Yeah.
they had already expected such a crowd to be there.
and it's more or less, people feel that FOMO. That
That's one thing that's been happening. And I also feel like it's not just like you were talking about how people, have these long weekends, they pile up, and now it's no more just during vacations. Because the culture of work from home has started, people think they can work from anywhere. So they just, pack their laptops along with them, take it to tours, keep touring everywhere. I mean, even tourists look like locals these days because they are working in random cafes. And even though they are on like a vacation, it doesn't seem like it. So I think, again, like you said, I think it's FOMO. Because somebody has gone there, it's the right time to visit. So they just do it. So they're not even here, not even there. I don't know what people are doing. Because back in the days, vacation was meant for either resting, or if you have enough income and you want to, disposable income, you want to go around and have a look. That's when you used to go around and vacation. That was the whole idea of vacationing, and that's how you got to explore places. Now it's every other weekend. Nobody's resting. The resting culture is kind of stopped. Everybody's on the move. It's on the weekdays you are on the move with your career, and when weekends come, you have to socialize, you have to be everywhere. People have called you here, go attend to this, that, and then maybe a few years down the line, when all of this stops, it feels like there's something empty. And then all of this thing of, people being depressed, some mental issues, all of this start coming in. I mean, there's a reason. You're supposed to do things at a designated pace. When you try and accumulate everything, uh, and there is going to be a stop to it someday. If you cannot take that stop, then you end up, I don't know, in like a medical center or something.
And I also read this thing that, people are taking personal loans to go on trips.
Oh.
So the highest percentage of the reason for a personal loan is actually travel. So 24% people in the world have taken a personal loan just to travel, because I think it's again because of, they feel like they see these people who are leaving their job just to travel,
Oh, yeah.
and they're like, this is what I have to.
of early retirement.
Yeah.
all of that, yeah.
Travel, I feel okay, traveling is good, but it should be seen as a recreational activity. Or else if you do something, if travel becomes your job, you're going to feel that is stressful as well. If you have to keep traveling all the time, that is also stressful. So in a way, it should be like a good, traveling is important, but you should do it in a break, is what I feel. And another thing I had seen was, places like Kedarnath and all these spiritual places. The thing is, to accommodate those many tourists, they're spoiling the whole, it's a spiritual journey. People have to walk that 14 kilometers and then visit the temple. A very few people can do it, and that is the whole point of it. But just to make it accessible for everyone, just to, accommodate so much tourists, they're having this helicopter, their ponies, and then the dolies.
Yeah.
It's just exploiting other people just so that you can visit that place. And I don't think by spoiling nature or by harming another animal or other people, you're able to, you're not achieving anything by just doing that. So
You might give them timely employment, but then again, there is no point to it. You were talking about Kedarnath, so I'd been there like long before all of this got popularized. I was trying to compare how it is now and how it was back then. It's changed so much over the past 10-12 years. Now it looks very commercialized. It's no more, it doesn't have the essence of what it had before. Now the whole point of trekking to the top to visit the temple was a journey in itself that a person goes through, right? That might be spiritual, that might be any kind of journey that person is having. But now it's become, like you said, very accessible. And now I just went and saw pictures of before and then. Now the temple looks so small. There are so many shops that have come around it. There are restaurants, there are stays. There was nothing of that sort back then. We used to have these, camp shelters that was set up by the army, and we had to stay there for the night. And all we had was warmers. That's all. And probably hot beverages is what was served, and food. That's all. That was all done by the army. Like everything was taken care of by them. Now you'll find all these restaurant owners. I think even the responsibility lies with the locals of that place. They are the reason that the place, either gets all, the hype and the popularity, or even for that matter, if it is facing a decline, it is because of the locals. Honestly, it's not the tourists. You are being very accommodative. You are changing for the tourists. You are doing everything that they want. Why wouldn't they come? They're coming there because they have the money, and because you are being greedy. You want the money. You want to have a source of income. So you end up, exploiting your own resources, and then you complain about how you've let in. I mean, the complaint only starts later when you start feeling the heat of what you've done. Until then, you're all like, I'm getting the money, why do I care? So I think even the locals are to be blamed. It's not just the tourists. Tourists are meant to, because for us, let's say if we are tourists, we would want to go to a place because we haven't seen it and we want to see it. I mean, it's the only lifetime. Why wouldn't I want to see it? Now, you as a commoner or you as a local of that place need to be very responsible. If you see a tourist doing something that is against what your local values or whatever you guys stand for, it's against it, you need to take a stand for it. You cannot just be like, they're tourists, it's fine, they won't know, we have to adjust. I don't think we have to adjust. The ones who have come in need to adjust to our culture.
I think
This-
whatever you're saying is completely true, because as you said the other day, Bhutan has restricted the number of tourists that can go,
And there's
and
a
they have
certain tax that you have to pay for it.
They want only the responsible tourists.
and they make sure that they teach you about their culture and
Correct.
tell you everything what like about Bhutan, and then they show you around in all the
that's
places.
how you preserve your culture.
Yeah.
No? How can you expect nobody to come and save your culture?
Yeah, and
They
I think
restrict it, but make it very, you have to pay a sustainable development fee. So it's expensive for tourists to go there, and they give you its worth. You have to be accompanied with a guide. They'll explain everything about their culture. It's not like, you just go there, you just explore, dirty that place, come back. No. They will be there with you all throughout. So that's a good thing.